good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you guys are watching this. Stay blessed. What's good, man? It's Marquis, aka Severe from Boston. Severely Yours, man. I am here with a special guest, man. A special guest, a special podcaster, a special writer, a special fellow individual, man. Obie Trice Kenobi. First of all, the name is fantastic. The name is dope. Let's talk about the name first, man. Where'd you get this name from? And introduce yourself to the peoples, man.
Yeah. I'm Obie Trice Kenobi, Obie Trice Kenobi _reviews on like Instagram, X, TikTok, wherever you find people. That's what I am. Where did I come up with the name? I don't remember. I can't remember exactly where I got it. I started using it as like my gamer tag on Xbox, and then if I sign up for a new account, I started like saying that. I just thought it was a funny like pun. I grew up loving that like whole aftermath camp of like Dr. Dre, Eminem, Obie Trice, the D12 kind of guys. So
Okay.
Obie Trice and Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite Star Wars guy, even though I'm like not as into Star Wars nowadays as I used to be like when I was a kid, but like definitely an Obi-Wan Kenobi fan. So it's a good blend, and yeah, I just rolled with it when I started making the reviews for whatever reason, and yeah, just a
Now
fun mashup.
that's what's up, man. Well, now that you're introduced, man, this is the THHC podcast, the Hip Hop Connoisseur Podcast, episode 252. We talking ScarLip, Scared Before Fame, review with Obie Trice. Now, Obie Trice, I gave
Yes,
you an
sir.
option to pick an album. You picked
Yes.
a couple albums, and then we kind of, bounded on one. Give
Yeah.
me an idea why you selected ScarLip, Scared Before Fame, the mixtape.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, I've been covering a lot of new projects lately, although I do old ones too, but I'm just backed up on new stuff and blah blah blah. And that one came out, and ScarLip has been pretty interesting out of the East Coast. She's got some songs that I've really liked from the past, like 5, 6 songs, something like that, that I've enjoyed quite a bit. And I noticed that last year she was kind of almost noticeably absent outside of just a couple of tracks. So when this dropped, I was like, oh, this could be cool. I know you're from the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it was just something new to jump into. I had some hopes that it would be good for us, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Where exactly are you from?
So I'm from Colorado, is where I born
Ooh.
and raised, and then spent a lot of time going back and forth from like Chicago and Illinois too, and that's where I spent all my summers basically. So
Okay,
spent a
so you
lot
got
of
to.
time there. Bears fan, unfortunately, for better or worse, and yeah. So
Hey, listen, I'm a strange character too because I live in Boston, but I only love the Red Sox.
sure,
Right? I only love the Red Sox
yeah,
and the
seeing the hat.
Bruins. But I don't like the Celtics. I'm a Lakers fan. That's a long story. I was
Okay,
raised by like kind of like my uncles. I didn't really have a father, so my uncles love the
sure,
Lakers. Cooper with the socks to his knees, stuff like that, Magic.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and then I grew up a Giants fan as well because my uncles was like that was the first New England team. So my uncles, they were
sure,
older. So when I started hanging with them, you're a Giants fan. I go, all right, whatever. I'm watching
yeah,
Giants. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just young,
yeah.
and
No, hey,
I never like went back. My loyalty stayed with them, even though we got the Patriots.
okay, yeah, no, hey, I get that for sure. Although the
So
Patriots would have been a good team to jump to, it turned out. But
no, 100%. Can you talk about hip hop society a little bit?
yeah. So I'm kind of a newer member on there, to be honest, within the last month or two, I think. But basically, they do like talk about news. They have a podcast once a week called the Hip Hop Roundtable, or called the
Mhm.
Roundtable, I think. And yeah, I'm always in the comment section chatting away during the broadcast every Wednesday. And then we have a couple different reviewers. Southside Gun from Twitter, he's kind of got a decent following on there. Cassius Cam, a couple different people dropping reviews, and I'm just kind of like one of the newer members for sure. So just kind of getting my feet wet and figuring out the team and helping make the video reviews for them, stuff like that.
All right, cool. We gotta get into the show, man. The first thing we usually do is speak on albums or EPs that were released on Friday. I usually listen to most of them, but like I think I listened to probably 50% of them. I'm slacking today. I was running around getting a unit online, but let's at least talk about the ones I was going to listen to anyway, or the ones I did listen to. So number one is Maze Overlay. It's called Vintage Overlord. Are you familiar with that artist?
I'm not. That's one that you're just putting me onto, and I'm downloaded. I'm gonna check in for sure.
Yeah, check in. Maze is nice. Number two is Public Enemy, Black Sky Over the Projects. It's called Apartment 2025. Wow, Public Enemy is back. Have you heard any songs from this album yet?
I haven't. I was just looking on Spotify. I couldn't really find it, so maybe it's on like Bandcamp or something. I'll have to Google after the show and check in more for sure.
Yeah.
And I even follow Chuck D, so I'm surprised I haven't seen it. Like I don't know.
Totally surprised. It surprised me.
For
It's one of
sure.
those surprise albums, and I think it said that in the article too. It's a surprise album.
Okay,
Number
cool,
three is
cool.
John Connor and KLC. It's called 24. Have you heard that today?
I've not heard it, but I know of John Connor for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm kind of mixed on him, but I might check this one out if I'm hearing good things about it.
Yeah, I tell artists all the time, like they might send me I might be cool with an artist that send me a project, right? Say they send me, I'm just gonna be bland, right? They got project 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah,
They send
yeah.
me project 1, I love it, I review it. They send me project 2, it's not so good, it don't fall in my category. I don't want to give it negative press, so I don't
Right.
review it. I don't
Yeah,
review it.
yeah.
And then they might have they might feel some type of way, but I still tell them in a nice way, like maybe the next one to catch me, and maybe I gotta go back to the second one. I don't know,
For
but I'm
sure.
just saying, like the second one right now, I'm not feeling, so I'm gonna move on. So it's
Right.
no disrespect, you know what I'm saying. So
No,
let's get
absolutely.
to number 4 is Kamaya and DJ Idea. It's called First Lady of the Mob. You know about Kamaya?
I know about Kamaya, yeah, and I did listen to this one already, and
Yeah,
I'm liking
nice.
it for sure.
Yeah,
I
Kamaya is
listened to her
nice,
last
man.
one, and it was
Yeah,
like
she's
the
nice.
last one was more singing, kind of, to be
Yeah,
honest. And
it's more singing and yeah.
it was
This
called
one's more
Fired
like a
Up, and I
slower
wasn't
rap.
feeling fired up about it.
Yeah.
This one I've been,
This
this
one's
one I
better.
like.
Yeah, this one's better.
Yeah,
I like this one.
absolutely.
I was like, oh, she's back with the crooning, like
Yep, yep.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like
I was feeling
yeah.
it for sure.
Number 5 is Coda the Friend. This is one of my favorite rappers. Coda the Friend. No rap on Sunday. I haven't listened to it yet either. But are you a fan of Coda the Friend? Are you familiar with him?
It's a name I've heard, and I just haven't gotten into it. But if you're saying it's someone you're into,
Oh
then I'm
yeah,
gonna have to, I'm gonna have to tap in
Coda the Friend's nice, man.
for
Just yeah,
sure.
he's nice. He's just
Okay,
put it
okay.
that way. He's
Where's he
nice.
from? Do you know?
Coda the Friend off the top. Where's Coda the Friend from? I don't
That's
even
okay.
know.
That's okay.
I forget, man. I don't wanna like say the wrong the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no worries.
The wrong city or whatever. So, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Let's
yeah,
move
no
on.
worries.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's move on. Numbers, but he's just a good artist. So
Cool. No, I'm gonna check
shout
him
out to
out.
Coda the Friend and his team over there. Number
Nice.
6 is Patty Honcho. It's called Lost at Sea.
Okay, no, I haven't heard of that one. I don't think that one was on my radar.
Yeah, he's a
Patty
newer
Don.
artist to most, but yeah, really clever, great rapper. Um,
Okay.
Khan is number 7. I'm a huge fan of Khan. It's called Caution Pack. Khan is one of those rappers. Another rapper that I really adore, man. He's just doing some great work, man. Like he's just like one of those dudes, man, that you're like, yo, how come I didn't know this about this dude before? You know. Number 8 is the 17th Cipher Mar Work Scorsese, and it's called Cold Work. Cold Work,
Yep, yep.
man. Have you heard of the 17th Cipher?
Absolutely, yep. They've been doing some good work. I've caught a couple of projects that I haven't gotten around to reviewing yet, but I've been listening, and I love that. Yeah, that
I
whole
reviewed
scene that's
that.
going on.
I reviewed her their holiday album. I mean, she's the I don't 17th Cipher. She's the queen. You know what I mean? Like she's the
Yep,
executive producer,
yep,
the
yep.
queen. You know what I mean? She got the magic wand, right?
Absolutely.
And she gets gets these guys together, these producers together, and she creates these great albums. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, I'm a fan. This one's
Trying to think. That
this
last
one's
one
Star
produced
Mar.
by Ill City, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the
Yeah, I believe.
last two.
I think so. Yeah.
That was the last one I caught.
Yeah,
Yep, that's a
man.
good one.
Now number 9 is last one is El Camino and Fugo Bass. It's called Harlem
Oh.
Heat, and this is BSF, Black Soprano family. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you're familiar with them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they got together and put out an EP. So
Okay. Yeah, El Camino drops a lot for sure. I caught the
El
Martyr
Camino, yeah, El
3
Camino dropped.
earlier this year.
He be
And
dropping.
he be dropping.
El
The other
Camino be
one I
dropping.
caught the other one I caught today was Tech 9. What's
Oh
that
yeah,
one
Tech
called?
9. I thought I wrote Tech 9. I didn't write Tech 9.
Yeah, it just happened. Like, I'm not even the biggest Tech
Oh,
9 fan like that, but I was just like, for some reason, I saw it and I was just like, I'm gonna try this one out today. It was good. I was like, okay,
okay,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, because yeah,
I
he's
know
a hit or
Tech 9's
miss. He's a
good.
hit or miss for me too. I tap
Yeah,
into him eventually, and then I might lay low, and then he might have 6
exactly.
albums out, and then I got to go back to the 6 albums.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
exactly
Like,
right. No,
so,
that's exactly right. That's
but
hilarious.
no, I'm a fan of him. So,
And I've
yeah,
been
let's get to the show. You got any questions before we go on? Any more new releases you might
Well,
have
I was
out?
just gonna say I've been listening. Some of the reason I haven't gotten through to all of those because I've been checking out all the XXL freshman
Mm,
releases and trying to
okay,
like see what they're doing and blah blah blah. So like I've been real busy
okay.
listening to that today and the last basically since the list dropped, checking out people's albums and for better or worse, you know what I mean. So
Now that makes sense, man. That, you know, what I'm saying, to kind of tackle that. I like that.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So,
checking in on that. And I did a whole cover review, like cover by cover of each class too, pretty recently. So
oh
I
yeah.
gotta get to this new one. Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah,
All right, so
yes,
let's
yes,
start
sir.
this up, man. So this is basically a conversation and a feeling and whatever you felt on each record. So this is the THHC podcast, episode 252, talking ScarLip, Scar Before Fame, review with Obie Trice Kenobi. So we're gonna break down each record and show love to each track, man. So I started off, I'll introduce the album, spark off with the first track, and then you speak on the first track as well. We'll just go back and forth. In between, we'll have some questions and play some games either between
Oh,
or at the end.
yes,
And
sir.
then we'll throw some love to to our loved ones and and get out of here.
Yep, no
So
problem.
ScarLip, man, we're going to Bronx, New York. We're going to the Bronx. We're trying to do the accent. Uh yeah, right. So ScarLip, Scared Before Fame. It's a mixtape. I'm surprised it's a mixtape, but I mean, people are accepting it like an album. But anyway, it came out June
Yeah,
20th, 2025. It's about 20 minutes of pure heat. And the first track, let's get into it, man. Pop That featuring Lil Wayne, produced by Swiss Beats and Rock Wilder. ScarLip, known for her raw, aggressive style and deeply personal lyrics. The song's a high energy opener with Lil Wayne matching ScarLip's fiery delivery. It's trap at its best, right? When it first comes on, you're like, okay,
right.
she's good at trap. You know what I mean? But she
Sure.
makes it kind of like that hardcore DMX trap, like if DMX made trap music or something.
Yeah, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
describing that right. So, what do you think about Pop That featuring Lil Wayne, first track?
All right, so I said it's like solid, somewhat basic with that like pop that, constantly going through it. You get a little bit repetitive, but pretty good, honestly. Um, I like the Lil Wayne verse. It gets into one of his favorite topics. We don't need to say the word, but it's he loves to talk about it, so
Yeah, we
he's
know,
all in. He's all in on that.
we know
And
about Wayne's
yeah,
fetishes
yeah,
and whatever and all that.
yeah. But it had the energy for sure. So it was a good start. It was a good start. I real quick question: how much have you heard of ScarLip? Like, what do you know?
Since she came out, since she had the buzz, I always thought she had, um, a good solid like core or something, right? I just knew something. It was something special about her that they wasn't going to pollute her. Like there's something about her character that I was like, she's either gonna be independent forever or someone's gonna like sign her and work with her and like be really careful with her, not really really bring her into the industry, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
So I figured I just always thought she was a dope rapper. At the end of the day, even though she's doing the trap or the sing songy stuff sometimes, but
Yeah.
she knows how to create music. She knows she's passionate. You see it in her eyes and you feel it in her bars. So
Definitely. Oh,
yeah,
cool. Fair enough.
yeah. Number two was one of my favorites called Melanin, and it's produced by Dora 555. A defiant celebration of Black identity. Uh, a middle finger to ghostwriters and colorism. It's a part of battle rap. Part TED Talk on like Black Pride. Melanin, this is a dope song. She's doing a lot of clips on it. I'm pretty sure she's working on a video for this one because this is
Okay.
a powerful record. I hope she does because she could have a lot of like Black women in it, and it could be a big powerful anthem for the Black women.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. Number two, Melanin. What do you think about this one?
Let's see. I said for some reason that hook where she says melanin, it just
Yeah.
felt almost more repetitive weirdly than the pop that stuff for me, which it
Okay.
sounds crazy to say. I don't know why. I like the content of the song,
Yeah.
like her verses and stuff like that, but there was just something about that hook where she just says melanin, melanin, melanin that I don't know, it was just almost too basic. At least pop that is two words maybe, and
Okay.
melanin is just the one. I'm not sure, but it just was the one where I was just like, oh man, I can't believe I feel more repetitive on this one than pop that, which doesn't make sense. But
No, that's why I like sitting down with somebody, man, and hearing their views because no one's gonna like always be on the same page, and it brings conversation and
yeah,
it brings different views to the records. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So number three is Eastside featuring Honey Baby, produced by Nobody. Summer fling meets '90s R&B nostalgia. Honey Baby's hook floats like a rooftop breeze, while ScarLip raps about sneaky links, energy. Rumor says it's about a Brooklyn DJ who ghosted her.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I'm not sure,
Some tea
but
behind it or whatever, right? Is that what they say?
yeah. Talk about Eastside, man, featuring Honey Baby.
Okay, yeah. I like this one. I like this one. It's one that actually kind of grew on me the more I
Okay.
listened to it. Originally, I was not as used to the slower ScarLip records, I guess, to be
Yeah,
honest. All of my favorite ones are kind of more just like that, like
that
but
grimy, that
that yeah. I like that. I like
punch you
that.
in the
So
face.
there's
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
and I want to see her do it, you know.
Yeah.
So this one at first I was a little mixed on, but then the more I heard, I was like, okay, yeah, I like this. I really like that Honey Baby hook. Might have to
Mhm.
look a little bit more into her and see what else she's putting out or whatever. I like that one for sure. That's a good track.
Yeah, I never heard of Honey Baby, but yeah,
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 me neither.
she seemed interesting.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
quick question. We'll throw a
Sure.
question in the mix before we get to number four.
Yeah.
Uh, you could bring back any rapper. First of all, who would it be? And you have to be the executive producer of the album. What would the album be about?
Okay. Oh man. That and we're talking like passed away, right?
Yeah, anybody that
Okay,
passed
yeah.
away,
Just
passed
checking. I
away
just make
rappers
sure.
that people love and always honor. It could be anybody. It could be somebody.
No, I
A
know.
lot of people that passed away. It could be somebody we
There,
don't even know.
there's so many. It's tough to think of too many, but so off the top of my head, I mean, Biggie is obviously just like one of my best favorite all time, Ready to
Yeah,
Die.
yeah.
I would love to bring him back and like some of the dark, like grimy production that goes on today. Biggie
Mm.
on top of some of that, like that could be crazy. And like
Like
into some of this new
Biggie and the
Alchemist.
Conductor, like the Conductor and
Yeah,
Biggie or something. Oh yeah,
yeah, Alchemist, Future
Alchemist.
Wave.
Ooh,
Um, there's some good Nicholas Craven. There's some good stuff
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Biggie could get crazy, especially if he's away
Harry
from
Fraud.
yeah. And if he's away, disconnected from Bad Boy, he gets to do more stuff. I'm assuming, right? Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing's opened up. So that I think that would be pretty. It's a generic answer with Biggie, but
No, that listen, because that's dope, man. You bringing in some dope producers, people like opening up their minds, going, wow, that'd be crazy. It's the what ifs, but we got to play that forever to keep them alive, man. R.I.P. to Biggie.
Absolutely,
You know
R.I.P. for sure.
Number 4 is Fruity Pebbles featuring Tata. Tata spazzed on this, man. Produced by Young Mads and 083 Chi, I think, right? It's drill chaos meets cereal box violence. A collab with Tata of 41. This track is unapologetically unhinged. Some say another anthem or just drill on steroids. What do you think about Fruity Pebbles, number 4?
Okay, and I could see that where somebody might just think, this is just drill, and it's like, I don't know. There's something about the way ScarLip delivers it for me that, like, yeah, Fruity Pebbles is one of the top tracks on here for me. I like it. I like getting in that energy bag. That's kind of what I was tuning in for, initially. So I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it. I'm into this. I like Tata on it. I liked what was going on in that on Fruity Pebbles.
No, I like it too. I'm just, I like, this is how, like,
No,
basically
you're
when I
good.
listen to a song, my pen just goes, my brain goes, and it could go, it could talk about the music, it could talk about the flow, it just goes, and
I love it.
And that's what I write. Number 5 is Could Have Been Me featuring Skilla Baby, produced by Fidstar, Fidstr. This is another jam that I like. Could Have Been Me. ScarLip reflects on her past and Bronx upbringing, a survivor's guilt over a trap lullaby. ScarLip and Skilla Baby are on the pro gun side. The joint is tough, man. It's a bop. It's a bop for me. What do you think about number 5? Could Have Been featuring Skilla. Is it Skilla Baby? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. This is my favorite track for sure on this project.
Yeah. This one joint, yeah.
By far, yeah. And I mean, well, I should say by far. There's another one we're about to talk about that's just pretty amazing too. But this is kind of like, like I said, as far as like coming in with that high energy and like that type of stuff, and the music, like the production matching up exactly with what I was looking for from her. It just, like I said, it's like Fruity Pebbles was here. This one is just like there, it's just that step up for me where I'm like, okay, this was, give me all these and I'm going to be, I love that. Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah, I thought it was just as dope as you said, man. And, you described it pretty well, man. Just real quick, just some tidbits before we get back into the album. ScarLip is like, it seems like she's healing on this project. I want to just mention that. And then, there's like bars and baggage, and ScarLip delivers both and more on this album as well. And I also want you guys to hit the subscribe button, man. I need 2,000. Hit the subscribe button, man. We need to get 2,000.
Run them up.
By the end of the month.
Numbers up.
You know what I'm saying? By the end of the month.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if she had a pretty like tough 2024. Like I said, she only released a couple of songs or had a few features. It wasn't I was checking in because she was on last year's XXL cover. So I was like trying to check in and keep up, and there wasn't a lot. Like She's Hot came out. That was a good song.
Yep. But that was like a year ago, I think.
That's what I mean. But there was no like projects. I'm almost positive. So I wonder if it was a tougher year and she got some stuff to get off her chest.
Yeah, it could have been. Maybe she was just like working on deals. Something had to be something.
Yeah.
Question for you, man. This is off this record, still on the record, us talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is Joey Valance and Bree?
Oh, okay.
Like it's called No Hands album. Who are those two young men?
Okay,
say
that's
the names
funny.
The album. What is it?
Sure. Okay, so Joey Valance and Bray. And No Hands is the album from 2024, right?
Yeah.
And that's just like this kind of young duo. It's like, I mean, with more or less, and I'm a little bit of this too, but it's a dorky white guy, right? And kind of his cooler, but also still slightly dorky, like Asian friend. I don't know his ethnicity exactly, but whatever. But they're kind of like, it's kind of like a new age Beastie Boys, which isn't even something that I would And I like the Beastie Boys, but I don't like.
I knew you was gonna say that because when I was listening to the album, I said, "Yo, how did this album win album of the year for this guy?" So I said, "I gotta listen to it. I gotta
It's
listen to it." So I listened to it, and I'm like, "Okay, they're good," but I'm like, "Album of the year." I gotta ask him about is one of them his brother or like what's going on? Like, does he know these guys? And he's like trying to get him popular. But like no,
no,
but
no.
they
It's
good. But I was like, they remind me of the Beastie Boys. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. No, for sure. It's just one of those records that kind of just hit me at a weird time. Me and a buddy that's online actually just we just love it, and like it's just a hype album that's like fun, but it doesn't have to be violent or crazy. It's just I don't know. There's just something about it. It's like I said, I'm not even a big Beastie Boys guy. It's a wave that doesn't seem like it would be for me. But I went to a show last year. It was really fun. They're great live performance.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It was just a crazy. It
No,
was
that's cool.
yeah.
I gotta get
I don't
more into
know.
him. That was the first album I listened to, and I was like, "This is album of the year, okay."
It's
And you know,
weird.
and I'm just like looking at the other albums that you had, and I'm like, But that's just my opinion. I figured
No, that's
some
okay.
other ones could have won, but whatever, right?
No,
Like
no,
you
that's
said, you
fair.
was in that mood. It's just how you feel, right? And then
Yeah, yeah.
I would dwells on you and if the moment in your life, that's how like an album or artist speaks to you.
I don't
So
know how much you listen to like electro music or techno, whatever, all that junk.
sometimes,
Yeah, as I
sometimes,
say, I'm not that into it too, but even that little element of that album kind of was just like, oh, okay, like I can dig this while I'm working. It's
yeah,
good, like upbeat, like type of thing. I don't know. It's funny though. It's funny that you brought that up because yeah, those guys are dorky and funny, and just it's a weird choice. I'm not disagreeing with you, and
no,
I
I
think
figured it'd be a great
it's also a
conversation.
one hit thing too, where it's like the next album might be great, but is it going to be my album of the year? Maybe, maybe not, because it just didn't surprise me now like it did for the last one, you know, where that one caught me. We're just like, what? I
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
never thought I was
yeah,
going to like those guys from the clips I saw, but yeah, I can't believe, yeah.
yeah. No, that's interesting. Let's get back to the album.
Yes,
Number
sir.
6, there's a video to this, and Mary J. Blige is actually in the video. It's called Runaway
Yeah.
Love Freestyle, produced by ScarLip. So ScarLip basically did a freestyle, an actual freestyle. She sends it to Swiss Beats, and she said she was just gonna do like some type of video on it. It's just some, she hired somebody, and she's just gonna do something real quick. And then Swiss Beats said, "Nah, this is going on the album. Tell that videographer to whatever." She's like, "I already paid." He was like, "Nope, come back to the studio, lace the same bars on whatever, and I'll get Mary's permission to use
Oh,
it or
wow.
whatever or something, right?" So whatever that all transpired. So Mary made the album. Well,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
video, the
I didn't.
video. She made the
Yeah.
video
Yeah. The video. I seen the video. Yeah.
because that was a sample of Mary. So
Sure.
Runaway Love Freestyle, it's a rework of Luda and Mary J's classic, blending street narratives with emotional depth. I enjoy ScarLip in story mode, a risk that paid off. Like, I just gave the story, but just a dope remix. I thought it was pretty good. What do you think about Runaway Love?
I loved
Freestyle?
it. I mean, I love the original Runaway Love. I don't know about you. I
Yeah,
think
I
you
love it.
called it a
Yeah, yeah, it's
classic,
dope.
right? So yeah,
Yeah, it's dope.
it's a great record. And to be honest with you, I guess I didn't notice the production. Like I didn't know it was reproduced or anything
Oh,
like
okay.
that. I kind of thought she was just rapping on the instrumental. And then I saw the video where Mary was in the video. So I was like, oh, okay. So this is like an official remix, but I guess I didn't listen to it back to back with the original, and it's kind of been a minute. It's one of those sad records I can only listen to every once in a while,
Yeah, it is. It is
like
pretty
the
gloomy.
original.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but overall, I mean, I love the record. Yeah, it's a great remix or rendition or freestyle, whatever it is. I loved it.
No,
I love the story she was telling. And I mean,
yeah.
dark and sad, obviously, but just great storytelling and
Kind
lyricism
of
to
like a
start with.
Brenda with Tupac or something.
Yep, yep,
Kinda.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no.
let's get to the last record. It's called Lord Please, featuring Anthony Hamilton, produced by NOS. A gospel tinge, fusion trap with Hamilton's soulful vocals for a raw plea for redemption. It's Hamilton's velvet croon cushioning ScarLip's confessions. What do you think about Lord Please featuring Anthony Hamilton? Good to hear Anthony Hamilton back.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised. I feel like I saw him on another record somewhat recently too,
Did
and
you?
both. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why I can't remember. Like the same week I was started listening to this, or like a week ago, I swear I saw him again, and I was like, Anthony Hamilton twice in 1 week. What's going
Yeah,
on?
what's
I
going
feel
on?
like
Maybe he's coming
feel
out.
like
Maybe he's about to do
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. He's got something new coming out, but
Hopefully.
yeah, I was okay on this record. I was kind of mixed. Like I said, the calmer, quieter ScarLip stuff, I can appreciate her like wanting to do it and changing things up and just switching styles and stuff, but this style just might not be for me from her sometimes.
No, I get it. I want to summing up the album, then I have you summing up the album too. So
Yeah.
2025, Broken Child Productions LLC / Epic Records / Sony Music Entertainment. Her influences are DMX, Raekwon, Onyx, and Cardi B. The album, a mix of New York drill aggression, soulful introspection, and trap anthems, showcasing her versatility. Album is a 7-track therapy session, equal parts rage, heart, and unfiltered Bronx energy. Obie Trice, man, Kenobi, man. I love that you joined me on this quest. Let me know the breakdown of the entire album. How do you feel about the entire album?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Congratulations on episode 250 recently. Obviously, we're
Thank you.
252 now, so
Thank you.
congratulations. And also, in general, you just got me as a listener now. Like, ever since we met and started talking, I'm like, oh, cool. I love podcasts and hip hop podcasts when I'm not listening to music. I need something to break it up to sometimes. So,
Yeah.
podcasts and hip hop ones, especially, I love. Shout
Me
out to
too.
the Culture Decides. All right. But so here's the thing about this one, right? Like I was telling to you, it's like I like what ScarLip had done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And after like a 2024 where I felt like it was like noticeably absent when I was looking for her, when this dropped, even though it was short, I kind of was like, okay, I'm expecting some it's been a minute, let's go. And some of the songs lived up, but not all of them. So I felt a little bit disappointed at moments, especially
Okay.
because when I look at this list, it's like there's 5 or 6, like I said, records where I'm like, man, I don't even I couldn't even list the bad ones because I don't know them as well.
Yeah.
Like so it's just like I only know like hit, 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 hit. This is New York, Blick, Take 'em Out with Benny and Jada Kiss, No Statements, She's Hot. And then on this one, I'm just kind of like, if I were really getting into it, it's probably Fruity Pebbles and maybe Could Have Been Me. And the rest, I might not pull off for my playlists and stuff like that.
So like
So,
2 out of 7. Any skippables for you?
ooh, maybe just Lord Please, if I'm being honest, just
Lord,
because,
please.
especially because it's at the end.
Okay.
So that's one where it's just like, I'm already at the end. It's not my favorite. I don't always hold that against an artist. If there's like just one at the end, it's like they love it, but might not be for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just call it a 6-track instead of 7 or whatever it is. So, but overall, I mean, I like this project. I just felt a tiny bit disappointed and let down after the wait, but it was still a good mixtape EP, whatever we're calling it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it for sure.
I always enjoy like when an artist puts a great record at the end because it kind of makes me want to go back to the first
That's a
record.
good point. No,
You
I
know,
mean, and yeah, I'd
if they
rather have no
slack off, you're
skips.
like next. You're like I'm
Yeah,
going to the
yeah.
next project. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep,
um,
no, I
question
agree.
for you: how long have you been? How long you been loving music in general? Um, Hip hop and just music in general. How long you been involved?
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much my whole life, my dad is a musician, so I was like literally in the womb while he was like being on a band on stage and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? So I've been
So,
like
so
in it like that forever. My like our house was filled with instruments and stuff. My parents weren't together, but you know what I mean. So basically that whole time, and then like real young, it's like I remember some small stuff like James Brown and a couple other artists that off the top of my head right now I can't think of, but basically it was like all of a sudden my dad started playing like Ice Cube, Ice T, Eminem,
Oh,
even
yeah.
50 Cent and stuff like that. And it's like it just felt like my brain just like clicked, and it's like, oh, this is music. This is what I like. All the other music has been good, but this is like this is going to be me, and I could tell, and it's just been like that forever. So I mean, I'm 30 now, since at least like 7, 8 years old, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. My first albums was G Unit, Beg for Mercy, and Ice Cube, Death Certificate. Sorry, I almost said
Yeah.
No Vaseline, which is just the song on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those were my first two.
Your first two albums.
Yeah, those were my first two albums when I was like maybe 10, 12, whatever the date lines up. You know what I mean? My
Oh
dad's
my
like, cool, you
goodness.
want G Unit one, you're also gonna get the Ice Cube one that I love. Those are your two. There's your starters. So yeah.
Unbelievable. Wow.
And then
I
it's
was
just
on.
been ever since. I made some for a while, and then I kind of like got caught up in life and was always going to be like, hey, I'll go back and make music. Like I still got the lyrics in the phone and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
My life kept going and COVID, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's been like 8 years. Like, should I, might might just be time to do something else, figure something else out. I don't know, maybe not, just take a break. But like,
Yeah.
I'm easing my way back in through just talking albums, talking music, which is what I love
So
anyways.
you used
Talk
to
hip
rap.
hop. Yeah, yeah, some, yeah.
So do
I
you
really
still
wanted
like
to be a
rap to keep it?
DJ.
Do you keep it fresh? Do you keep it like polished up? Are you rapping
Ooh,
behind closed
no.
doors and not like really? Okay.
I
Just want
wouldn't
to.
say I wouldn't say necessarily no, to be honest with you. That's what I mean. That's why I'm not like eager to jump in. I got all the recording stuff as I used to have, but it's not like set up and stuff like that. No,
So do
I
you have
just
music out now, like actual CDs and music like that's on DSPs?
no, I mean I had some stuff that's on like SoundCloud back in the day. This was kind of like right when SoundCloud stopped being a thing and artists started like merging all their stuff to Spotify and other
Oh,
DSPs,
okay.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was at that point, I was like still using other people's instrumentals, right? And it felt like, oh, am I going to just get kicked off of Spotify if I put my stuff
Oh, if
up?
you put it on there, yeah, yeah,
Blah,
you
blah,
will.
blah. But so, there's music out there, but it's nothing I promote. I mean, I think it's okay, but I'm not out there promoting it or anything. And that's not what I'm aspiring to be right now. If anything, I'm more like, would someday maybe put together a project, executive
Oh,
produce
that'd be dope.
something or
Yeah,
do
with some
something like
artists.
that. There's a lot
Yeah,
of great artists that we talk to. I'm sure you do the same. And,
yep,
it's like, man, I'd love to be able to put something together with all these guys and showcase the great talent that's out there that I love,
yeah.
you
I've,
know?
I've I've done that with an EP, and I'm doing it with another EP soon.
Yep. I was
That's
checking it
coming
out,
out.
checking
But
some of
yeah,
those songs out.
I already have an EP out right now.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, y'all go check out some Boston, Massachusetts artists and producers.
Yeah,
Speaking
there's
of
some
like
good
new,
ones.
and then, there's a lot of new heat. Speaking of new heat, I was looking at your site and I saw Abby, Jasmine, is it Nyota, Parker, and Soul Child. Those are three women that I was, I wrote down their names and then I went to, listen to their music and then really, really good.
Okay.
Where do you find your new artists? So Abby, Jasmine, was it Nyota, Parker, and Soul Child? Like they were really, really good. I just want to bring their names up and like give them some shine.
Okay,
How'd
sure.
you
So
find those young ladies out?
that was on Hip Hop Society,
Oh, that was
Hip
on Hip
Hop
Hop
High
Society,
Society,
right?
High
Yeah, okay, it was.
Society. Okay, I think those might have been reviewed by other people, to be fair. Not all the
Oh, okay,
reviews were
okay,
from me.
okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of great ways to, now that I'm reviewing, artists will just approach me, right? Then I'm just constantly like looking. So there's places like looking on Reddit, catching clips on Instagram and Twitter, um, places like certain hip hop like discords and chats that I talk to where they bring up good music. There's quite a few good ways. It's like, yeah, for people that are willing to dig in and look, that are looking for some good stuff, it's there for you. You just gotta dig a tiny bit even.
All right, so I got a game for you. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but I just what it is. I call it Obie's ratings.
All right, all right.
Okay, so
Yep,
basically, I went on your site. I took some of your ratings. Like, say you did an 8 out of 10 for this person, and then this
sure.
person, right? So I
Okay,
took
yep.
both of those albums, and then I versed them.
Okay,
So, I'm gonna put them on the screen. We're gonna do one at a time.
okay.
I got 6 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, the first one is Method Man Tikal, the album Tikal, you gave it an 8 out of 10. You also
Okay.
gave Doechii Alligator Bites Never Heal an 8 out of 10.
Yep.
First of all, why'd you score both from 8 out of 10? And then which one would you pick? You have to pick one.
Oh, that's a good game and a tough question.
Yeah.
So they both got eights because so Tikal I, obviously like grew up with and
Mm-hmm.
loved and used to listen to, and then there was probably like a decade where I just happened to just not play it, oddly enough, not like just out of choice, just randomly. So then I jumped back in and it's like it's a classic album. There's some classic joints, and then there's a couple of songs without my notes in front of me to say exactly which ones, to be honest, that just I was like, yeah, they're good or whatever, but not amazing or don't hold as well for me as they used to maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and then as far as Doechii, I've been saying this might be a little controversial, but like I like the first half of Alligator Bites a lot. And then the second half is like good, but also kind of peters out for me where she's like singing a little bit more, I feel like. And,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. There's still some good stuff, like I said, but there was just enough that like kept it from a higher score, obviously. Um, that said, I mean, Doechii is great and that album is great, but I think I got to go with the classic Method Man on that one.
And I'm gonna answer these two. I
Yeah,
didn't really feel Method Man's album, even in the thick of things when I was, voting for it. It was the first Wu member to come out. I was,
right.
going crazy. And he was actually he was the first one to come out?
I
No.
think so.
Yeah, was
I
it
think
Method
so.
Man? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So people were excited, because he had the Method Man Sean going and stuff from the
Yeah.
Wu-Tang album, and people excited. I don't know. I think his album was expected by the one of his floods, I believe, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. Um, I don't know that the beats and um something about his flow didn't connect. Like I would say, I can't remember what's half of the album. Like it just certain tracks I love, certain tracks I'm like, what's this? That are
sure.
actually skippable. So like if I
Yeah.
would have to pick, if I had to pick, between those albums, I would pick Doechii Alligator.
Okay.
I gotta give him some credit. The
Who's your
next one,
favorite Wu member?
Ghostface Killer.
Okay, okay. So see, and mine is Method Man. It's
Oh,
always
it
been
is.
it's
Well,
always been
see,
Method
I think
Man
you know what it
because
is.
I love Blackout and Blackout 2
Oh
even.
no, me too. But see, Method Man, he raps great with Redman, great,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
he raps great with features. He features
Yeah.
on some, he kills it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
him making an album that scares me, and
I
hopefully
get no, I know what you mean.
everybody, a lot of people are saying this, but I mean, it's true. It's
No,
not like
no, no.
I made
You're
it up today or something, right?
no, you're not wrong by any means. No.
It used to be Jizza. Jizza when they first came
Okay.
on.
That's a good choice too. Yeah.
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 Um, Speaking of, I guess Wu Tang. Number two is Conway the Machine. His album called Slam Face Killer. You gave it an 8.5 out of 10, but you also gave Kendrick Lamar GNX an 8.5 out of 10. Talk about, why you gave them 8.5 out of 10, and then you have to pick one.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Those are both great albums. I mean, really, if we're talking eights and up, we're talking all great albums regardless. Um, I really like Slant Face Killa a lot more than I feel like a lot of other people did, from what
Yeah.
I could tell. I thought he picked out some like unique but great features for it. There were some really great beats on it. Like, I guess maybe I'm just not as tired of Conway and some of the Griselda guys as it seems like some other people are. It's like a cool thing now to just think like, oh, those guys are dying. Like it's not as good
No,
as it used to
I don't
be.
think they're washed. I
I
think a
don't
lot of
know.
people think that way. They're going on to something new, but they still got talent. They're still good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like Slant Face Killer quite a bit. It was towards the top of my albums last year for sure. And then what's the other one you said? I'm sorry.
Kendrick
Oh,
Lamar,
GNX.
GNX. I got them
GNX.
on the screen below too. If you want to look, I don't know if you
Oh,
can
okay.
see.
I'm sorry. You're right.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
no. I'm just. I don't know if
Uh,
you knew, but I'm just saying.
I did
But
not.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. So Kendrick
so I
Lamar.
love GNX as like I said, I'm in Colorado, so like West Coast stuff, it clicks heavy for me. I love that album. There's some stuff on it that are just songs that are great, but not ones that I listen to every day, just because as I'm sure you've been able to somewhat tell, I like songs. I like a little bit more like high energy stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not trying, like, I don't know. I'm just at this point in my life where like I don't like too sad or slow of music. I'm just like, I'm not trying to be depressed. I'm not trying to. I gotta
Yeah,
stay
yeah, you
up.
don't
I
want,
gotta
yeah, you don't
stay. I
want, yeah.
gotta
It's,
stay going
it's
and
enough to
happy,
be, it's
positive.
enough to be depressed about. Let's put it that way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So I like a little, but I like the like Luther and some of those Man in the Garden. Like those are all great songs, but because they're not like daily plays for me, kept it a little bit like out of like a 9 or whatever. But TV Off and all the like crazy
Yeah.
bops on there are amazing. So let's see, between the two, I think I'm going GNX on that one. I
Okay.
love Conway and I love that album, but yeah, it's a little more condensed, which
Yeah.
also kind of helps. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, GNX, I'm gonna say.
I would Conway the Machine, Slimface Killer, great album. I'm still not tired of Conway. He still comes up with, different ways to be clever about, the same subjects, right?
Yeah,
Um, Kendrick Lamar, GNX, it was I think it was a project full of great records. It wasn't an album, like, if I had to say it's an album, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, I do know what you
um,
mean.
but I would still pick Kendrick Lamar, GNX. I would.
Yeah,
Number 3 is Boldy James, Permanent Ink. You gave it an 8 out of 10. And then you also gave, this is versus Ransom versus Harry Fraud, Lavish Misery. So Boldy James, Permanent Ink,
that
Ransom, Harry Fraud, Lavish Misery.
that's another tough matchup, and I think a lot of people would just right away, kind of seemingly from what I can tell, say, "Oh, Ransom and Lavish Misery," just kind of easy. Seems like people have been a little bit hard on Boldy and his like heavy releases this year, and I get that. And Permanent Ink maybe isn't like one of the top ones. So again, I kind of get all that. Um, Ransom, as much as I like him, sometimes I think he gets in this like he has the same flow all the time though too, and it's like it's a great flow, but also sometimes it's like once you've seen it and heard it and like decoded it, now it's all I hear is just the flow being too similar sometimes.
That's interesting.
So I'm trying to decide here. It's like I think I'm going Ransom on this one,
Okay.
but there's a part of me that wonders in the future, it's just like if it how much the replayability will be because I'm like maybe in 2 years, 3 years heard way more Ransom, and it's just like, okay, now I hear this one. I think the Harry Fraud production is doing a lot of the weight carrying, but I'm gonna
Mm.
go with Ransom on this one. But that Boldy Permanent Ink is slightly underrated, I feel like, by a lot of people.
Yeah, it's funny because I was gonna, for Boldy James, Permanent Ink, he's a hit or miss. First of Boldy James is always he's a hit or miss for me. Sometimes album, I'm like, oh, this is classic. Oh, this album's incredible.
Sure,
Or sometimes I'm
sure,
like,
sure.
I do and I might not review it.
Yeah,
This one's this one's good. Permanent Ink, I did review it. It's really good. Ransom, huge fan of Ransom and Harry Fraud, and they did this
yeah,
Lavish Misery. I did like it. I did have some I kind of think like you're thinking in a sense like how Ransom's kind of like being more. It seems like more dry than anything. Like you said, he got that one flow. He's not trying to like not trying to say you got everybody got to be Nicki Minaj and go crazy on
yeah,
your doll and be a
sure.
cat.
And he's got great lyrics. The
Yeah, yeah,
dude's
yeah.
got
You just
great
got great
lyrics,
lip. Yeah, yeah. So
songwriting ability.
I'm all about that. So I always like he always gets me with that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Lyrics and bars and So I would pick. It's funny. I would pick. Man, that's a tough one.
that's what I was saying. That's a tough one.
But I
That's a
think I
good
go.
game.
That's what I'm saying. I just make these games up for different people.
I liked it. No, thank you.
I think I think I'm gonna go with Ransom and Harry Fry only because of the bars.
Yeah, the
And Harry,
bars, those
yeah,
beats.
the
That's
beat,
that. I
yeah,
think that's the real thing. Is like Permanent Ink. I can't remember who exactly even produced that. I think it was kind of one of
yeah. It
the
could be various artists or
yeah,
producers. I mean,
yeah,
I can't
something
remember.
like that.
Yeah,
Lesser known full produce, one or the other. But
it might have been fully
but
produced.
against Harry Fraud, it's like okay, well, if the lyricists are matching up pretty well,
Yeah,
Harry
I
Fraud.
got three more, but I got some
Yeah,
questions. So, in an
yeah, yeah.
era of streaming, right? Do artists change their album format? Do you think they do that?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like things have changed in the last 10 years or 15 years for sure. I
Mhm.
mean, there was even a small bit where I took a break from like some new music. I was just like still in hip hop, but I was just listening to the same old stuff for a minute, a couple like 2 3 years. And when I
Yeah,
came back, like projects were noticeably shorter, things like that, like feature heavy a lot. You're either feature heavy or you're no features at all. I think that things definitely have changed for sure, for better and worse sometimes. You just kind of
yeah,
got to go roll with it, I guess.
you're right. I got another question before we get back into the game.
Yeah.
You got three more. But anyway, pick one album that defines lyrical mastery.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, again, I hate
If
to
you had to put
be.
that in a time capsule, a lyrical mastery type album.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, it's always just the bar is Illmatic. It's just
Yeah,
that 10 out of 10 for me. Always, like, there's no question about it. There's no like, to me, there's really no debating it. Like, that's just like peak everything combined as far as
it's
lyricism.
it's time capsule material, right?
Yep,
For sure,
exactly.
for sure. No, yeah, 100% right. Um, oh, I gotta put this one. Oh, I don't know why I did that, but I got it.
No, you're
Just
good,
instead
man.
of scrolling. Number four is um Tupac, Me Against the World. You gave it 8 out of 10. Verse Little Kim, Hardcore. You gave that an 8 out of 10. Talk about those albums and then which one you would pick.
Sure, sure. I mean, if eights could be different, right? And this is kind of one of those cases where it's like it's an eight on the left and an eight on the right, basically. I mean, Me
Mm-hmm.
Against the World and Hardcore are just such different albums. I mean, Me Against the World is much more like deep and personal at time, like I mean, throughout most of it, really.
Yeah,
And Hardcore is like, some like hypersexual mafiosa rap type of stuff. So,
yeah.
if I had to pick one, I mean, I'm definitely going Tupac, but there's a certain day or a certain like, where you're like, okay, yeah, I'll take the hardcore today, whatever. But Tupac overall, yeah,
No,
for
I
sure.
believe they're both, classic albums. To be honest with you, I would score them. I use the five mic.
Higher.
I use the five mic source, thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
using your rating, I would have marked them both for 10. And if I had to pick
Okay,
one,
okay.
on some type of island or something, ooh, that's really tough. I probably only would pick Tupac, Me Against the World, because I think it's a longer album and I have more records to listen
Sure,
to.
sure. See, and I
Um,
and I always got this problem, like what you're just saying is it's like sometimes I feel like I'm like, man, I'm just rating everything too hard. I only got like one 10 out of 10, a
no,
couple
no,
of
I don't. I don't think you. I
9.5s.
don't think you are. That's why
And then
I
and
picked
then other
certain
days I'm
ones.
like, oh, I'm too easy. It's just all eights. I'm giving out eights left and right. I'm trying, but I mean, I just love hip hop. So for me, it's like I just like this music, you guys. I don't know.
No, that happens with me. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, did I overscore this? Did I underscore this? Like you just
Yeah,
question
yeah,
yourself. But don't question yourself, man. You're right on point with how you feel. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. And I do updates too. I always update up. So if I'm later like,
Yeah,
oh,
I was
your
gonna say
album's
that. I
better,
update up too. Yeah,
I go
yeah,
up. But if
yeah.
later I'm like, this is not as good, I just leave it be. You keep your score, and I
Yeah,
won't I
yeah,
won't chunk it down and just shit on you.
yeah.
Not to
No,
curse.
yeah, exactly. No,
Sorry.
good. 100%. Um, Now number five is the Brat Funkified. You gave it a 9 out of 10, and
Yep.
then No Name Telephone. You gave it a 9 out of 10. Talk about each album, and then which one would you pick?
Okay, so to be honest, Debrat I was kind of sleeping on a little bit. I mean, like I know Debrat. It's not that's not like that, but I just wasn't really checking into her music, to be honest, that for whatever reason. Just one of those artists that a little before my time and as far as like new releases, and then I just didn't go back, and Funkify like blew me away. I was like, whoa, this is like a West Coast sounding
Yeah,
bop. This
it's
is
a really good
crazy.
album, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's on me for sure. And then No Name Telephone is one that a buddy recommended to me. No Name was not really an artist that I knew of, but that one just kind of blew me away on like the deep and the personal level they get, and that's a great album too.
Oh yeah,
Um,
really, really
I,
good.
I think I'm gonna go with the Brat on this one though. I mean, I just
Oh,
love
okay.
that kind of between her being Chicago and then the West Coast feel and just like
Yeah,
everything about all that. I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, I like that. I'm gonna stick with that.
I like that. I like that one. I'm gonna go. So the Brat, Funkify, No Name. I'm gonna go No Name on this one. Telephone.
Okay, no,
I
I
think it's
respect
gonna.
that.
I think that album
That's a
eventually,
great
because it's
album.
still newer, but it's gonna. I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna live longer, and people might talk about it more.
I just want more people to see it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Me too.
I'm
Me
the
too. I
fact
can
that I
read.
didn't hear about it until like even somewhat recently is like that's not good.
Well,
That's on me, but also
she's international, right? Where's she from? She's from like
is she? I guess I didn't know that.
yeah,
I
she's
can't
from I
remember.
forget where she's from. She need you need the passport. I know that.
Okay, okay, fair
Got the
enough.
accent, you know.
Yeah,
Number
yeah,
6, the last one is Aida, Rap, Obey,
yeah.
verse
Obia, I think. I don't know.
verse is it
It's a
Obia
new
or
word for me.
Obey? Is it
I
Obia?
was that's what I was saying. It's a new word for me. I don't know either.
I thought it was Rap Obey, but I didn't know what she was
No,
saying.
you might be
Rap but
right for
obey
sure.
me, rapper but obey. Like I don't know. Maybe it's
You might
OB,
be. I got no idea.
Obey. I'll email her. I'll text her. 'Cause
Sure.
I'll be talking to her. I ask her how
Oh,
and
nice.
I'll be talking to her on Instagram, so I can ask her
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
reviewed some of her albums already, and she liked it and shared them. So, so
Okay,
Aida,
okay.
I think it's Rap Obey or Rap Obey B,
Yep.
versus Rufus Sims. Who sent me? I mean, who sent you? I'm sorry. You
Yep.
gave both of them a
Yep.
9 out of 10. Talk about those albums. One's a newer one, and one's probably a year or two old. And
Yeah, yeah.
talk about which one you would pick.
Man, that's a tough. That is like the I don't know. That might be the tough one of the toughest matchups you brought up so far because those are both such like for real high quality albums. Like so, Rufus
Yeah,
Sims is just getting crazy into like personal tales. I've seen your review on that one, so I know you've
yeah,
checked that one out. Like
yeah.
so, Rufus is just he's letting it all out on that one. I feel like in different ways. Not to say that he doesn't have more to say by any
He's real.
means,
He's real
but
creative. He's a creative
yeah,
artist.
very creative, coming up with different like rhyme schemes, but like oh my gosh, guys all over the place, and a great artist. Shout out to Ill Dirty Rufus from this year too,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and then Ada, Aida. I actually also don't know how to fully say her name. I guess now that I'm
It's
saying it out
Aida.
loud,
It's
it's
Aida.
Aida. Okay,
I had this
okay, okay.
conversation with her already
No, I appreciate you for putting me on then. Yeah, because
because I
it's
was
one of those
messing
I've
up. I
only
was
read
messing.
it. I haven't.
Yeah.
That's a great album. And if you've heard it and you have, it sounds like, then the blend of like cultures and sounds in that, that's crazy. And like all that one's probably half the length of Who Sent You, but that which makes the battle even tougher because you got a great short thing versus a great longer one, has more chances to miss but he really doesn't. I think I'm going Rufus Sims on this one, but
Yeah.
and that's also because I've had a little more time to sit with it. Rap Obey is kind of newer to me, and I loved it, but I've like got Who Sent You is soaked in a little bit more, I
Yeah.
guess, if that makes sense, because I've just had some more time with it, even though it's still somewhat relatively new to me, but it's okay, at least a couple months older for me. So I'm gonna go with Rufus Sims on this one. But man, that's the
That's
toughest
a tough one,
matchup for
man.
sure.
I was gonna
Because
say the
yeah,
same thing. I gotta sit with the Aida project. I sit with her projects for a while because she's a lyricist and she's really a great artist. So you got to
oh
kind of
yeah,
like I sit with a lot of certain people's albums. I really sit with. I don't
yeah,
care if it
yeah,
came out today, yesterday, whenever, but I might sit with it for like 3 months, 6 months before I even review it.
yeah.
Some
I
albums are
love that.
easier. Some albums are easier than the other ones. You just see me. One can come out today and I can put it out.
Sure.
I just felt the energy and I just the pen's going. But some like I gotta really sit with Naida. I gotta sit with. So I would pick Rufus Sims on that as well because I know it. I listen to it. It's
Yeah.
becoming better and better every time I hear it. So who sent
Oh man.
you? Rufus Sims, and then like I just reviewed his last project. So yeah, huge
Yeah.
fan. Chicago
I
never forgot how to rap. You know what I'm saying?
never. Chicago never forgot how to rap. Shout out to I Am God. Shout out to Vic Spencer.
All of
Shout out
them,
to all those guys.
everybody
Hell
over
yeah.
there, man. Um, Question: what producers intrigue you? If you have any producers you would like love to work with,
Oh man, okay.
what
Well, so
producers intrigue you?
like I shouted out earlier, Future Wave out
Okay,
of Toronto, Canada. Man,
he's nice.
he's been going crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
so
nice.
for
Sure, he's nice.
sure, he's like at the top of my list. I'm trying to think of who else. Like just recently, I heard this project by the Ewok,
Okay,
bike jacked at Greenbrier Park, I think is what it's called. He's
okay.
just like a smaller producer out of Chicago, but he's great. Man, who else am I? I'm kind of going blank on producers at the moment, but Dave in the Cave is
Mm-hmm.
his name, out of Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. He's a really good producer that dropped a project earlier this year, with a rapper. So yeah, those three guys. Future Wave is a big stretch,
Yeah, yeah.
but I've talked to him a few times. But yeah, those three guys are making some good beats. Let's see, Count Bass D. He's always killing it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, there's so many great producers
Oh
right
no,
now.
there's so many. I mean,
It's insane.
like I said, it's a question. It's not like I gave you the
No,
questions, so
yeah,
you're ready for them. And
yeah.
this is why I do this live, so you can be surprised. I don't
No,
want
I love it.
any answers like this.
Yeah,
AI
yeah,
is already here, so let's try to get some authenticity on these
yeah.
podcasts. So just talking as human beings, right? So
I'm praying this new Freddie Gibbs Alchemist album
oh,
doesn't have any
part two,
AI.
part
Yeah,
two.
yeah. Alfredo too. I'm hoping it doesn't have any AI. After that video, I know everybody's upset, so I'm hoping that's at least out of the music. Just keep it a video. Keep it out of the
Yeah,
music.
I would hope they're not doing nothing crazy. What's going on? What is this
I
thing?
hope.
I don't know what the I'm on TikTok too, but I don't know what it's doing. It's doing some
That's
weird
all
stuff.
right. No, you're good.
I don't know what it's doing. Get the heck out of here. What is this thing doing? It's telling me to put a puzzle piece somewhere.
Oh snap! You got
Where I
stuck in
could
a.
I don't know what's going on. Whatever. I just clicked through. Anyway,
No, you're good.
my last question, no, not my last question, but at least the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
question I got written down
No, you're good.
is what's an underrated moment in hip hop history that people should know about? Anything that you always talk about, but like people like, when that happened? What happened? What's going on? Anything that
Oh
you think,
man.
anything in your history, mind and book? What do you
Let's
anything that
see.
you want to share? Could be something that maybe only 100 people know, but
Sure,
because they were
sure.
there because I don't know, ODB showed up at some of the store or something. I don't know, anything could be something. I don't know. I'm just because
No,
he
no,
already
yeah.
had
Let me
some
just
crazy.
try to think. I might just throw out some random things, and hopefully one of them will answer your question. Let's see. So, like, I think that 50 Cent the Massacre is overhated, which ends up underrating it. So that's something weird in
Oh
history. That it's like, how is a record that's kind of like didn't sell 1 million in its first week, but like kind of gets underrated because it gets overhated. That's pretty good. That's a good album. That's a
no,
good album.
it's funny. It is a good album. I like the album, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the one with the and he's no homo or no pause, but he got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chest and he's got the drawings
Got the
around him.
cartoon or
Cartoon
whatever it
kind of like
is.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
chest out, looking
So
all built.
I think I think that's a
Pause.
moment. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, let's while we're on 50 Cent, how about the G Unit reunion as a moment
Ooh,
in hip hop history that's probably gonna get like kind of brushed under the rug with
yeah, that
Kid
was a
Kid
good one. Yeah,
and they even tried to get Buck back and all that. Like
yeah.
so while we're just on the 50 Cent roll.
No, don't worry about it, man.
Oh
It's
yeah.
that's on your your brain. So
No,
why
no,
not
I'm gonna think about it. That's
utilize it,
hilarious.
man? These are
That's
questions
awesome.
like you can think about now, or you can always come back later, put it in the
Oh
chat,
yeah.
man, or just
I love I love talking hip hop. So there's no
yeah, yeah.
it doesn't matter. There's no embarrassing me. I'll answer every question. I'll just go off the cuff. It's all good.
My last question is: do you have any questions for me, or do you have a maybe like a verses for me, real quick, and then we can get to the the shout outs and the the brands and what you really want to talk about at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. Yeah, let's see. So how long, I know you're at episode 252. How long has this been going? Since I'm kind of a newer fan, and a newer listener. How long have you been talking and running the THHC podcast?
So this was going for about I'm gonna say 4 to 5 years, probably going on 5 years. It was
Okay.
wait. Yeah, I think it was during the pandemic. Like I was
Sure.
always doing things, writing books and doing other things with hip hop and being online talking about hip hop. And
Yeah.
I was just jumping on everybody else's podcast. I'll be on here, be an expert, be this. I'm always people. I'm like, yo, I gotta do something on my own. Like I'm always on someone else's talking about hip hop, like you. I'm
Right.
going over here and running around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I eventually, settled down and built the podcast and never looked back, man. Been on for about
That's
5 years, I
awesome.
would say. Yeah. So I have fun. It's like therapy for me,
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like I
One
said,
person, two people, 100 people. Like I love it.
oh
You know.
yeah, I mean, I remember the days when it was just me and my one friend that liked every post, and that was
Yeah.
okay. I was just
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
I just like writing about hip hop and listening to the music.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like it's for everybody. Sometimes it's just for me, So
It keeps me out of
um
trouble, man.
exactly. When's your next project coming out? Or you got more? I know, didn't you just drop a record? Is it today or yesterday?
I dropped a record today.
Okay.
It's long story, but like yeah. So basically, I dropped a single last Friday, and then
Right.
I
Yep.
dropped a surprise.
Good times, right?
Yeah, good times with
Yep.
Main and Medicine, Sonly, produced by Skip the Kid, and mixed and mastered by Kevy Music. Now, I put out a surprise 2-song mix today
Right.
from Kevy Music, and it's still Skip the Kid's beat and still
Okay.
Main and Medicine rapping on it, but we did some weird stuff with it. You know what I mean? We put some
Yeah,
music
yeah.
clips in it and all that stuff. So a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
was
people
checking it
love
out.
it. You know,
Absolutely.
I got one feedback that it might be, the artist might be off. So I'm checking into it. I got my engineer checking into it. So
Okay.
we might switch that out, but it'd be the same tracks, but just the same, same format.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the album's coming out July 4th. July 4th.
Oh man.
So
Okay, okay.
it's gonna be Main and Medicine and Song Lee. They got 3 songs together, and then I got a story through music as an interlude. So I do a story.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think it's the same story as the one you heard today, but it's just
Sure,
by
sure.
itself. It's just by itself
Okay.
and mixed differently. And then I honored the producers 3 tracks by with the instrumentals,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the album.
Nice.
So and then what I do is I favor everybody that their points, and I make sure they get their money on the back end. So like say for
Nice.
the producer track, he gets all of it because he produced the track. But if it's a
Sure,
rap
sure.
on it, of course he gets a portion. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for asking.
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, I'll be listening to that on July 4th on my way to Wu-Tang Clan. I'll be
Oh,
going to see the show that night.
when are
So
they performing in your town?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just like outside of Denver, just barely. So yeah, they'll be in
Okay.
Denver at like, I think it's some outdoor venue. So I'm hoping that there'll be fireworks shooting off and stuff like that. So you could be
Yeah,
like
it's the
watching Wu-Tang.
last Wu-Tang tour.
That's what
They
they
said they're gonna
say.
pick one person to put something in the time capsule. We talked about time capsules earlier.
Oh, okay.
They're
Yeah,
gonna pick
yeah.
somebody from Denver. RZA said it, and they're gonna put something in the time capsule.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't hear that. I'll have to check that out. They're not going to pick me, but that sounds cool though.
You never know. Bring some out. They probably already picked somebody, but
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's some friend they got.
whenever I go to a Wu concert, I know this is gonna be the last one. I probably won't be to see him, or whatever. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they're gonna be touring separately. Probably still make whoever makes music, they're gonna be touring separately.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Of
So,
course.
I will always try to bring something for them to sign because you never know if you see him or you get to talk to him.
Yeah,
So I try
yeah.
to bring something like an album or a T-shirt or something like.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure I'll get some crazy merch or something. So I'll have something
Yeah,
no matter what.
then they got dope merch and stuff, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Obie Trice, man, Kenobi, man, OTK, man. It's great to have
Right.
you on this podcast. You've been fun, man. You've been a highlight of today, talking about ScarLip. This was a great album,
Hmm.
mixtape to review, to talk about because she's getting some buzz. She's getting a lot of buzz. A lot of people saying she's one of the best female rappers out today. And I think they're
Yeah.
meaning the women that are pop.
Yeah.
So I would agree. There's a lot of dope rappers, female rappers underground that will murder her, but she's she's pretty good. She's pretty good.
Yeah, no, for sure. For the lane she's in, I mean,
Yeah, she's pretty good.
she's doing great, and there's worse stuff at 100%. So I
Oh,
mean,
there's so much worse stuff out there. I'd rather listen.
so much worse stuff. Yeah,
I'll
no,
listen to ScarLip, man, all day,
but yeah,
man.
no. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a great chat. Anytime you need a guest or you need somebody, just
Oh
let me
yeah,
know. I
I'll be
love
picking your
talking hip
brain.
hop.
Yeah, but like, say if something comes up, we can come and talk about the subject.
Yeah, and like I said, we could pick older albums and too. I just went for a
That
newer
too.
one.
Yep,
But yeah,
yep.
I love talking any album, any era.
I
So
miss doing this. This is what I I actually started the podcast to have strangers or just people in general talk about and dissect albums
yeah.
with me. Sometimes I get the actual artists.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
those are fun.
nice.
So you watch
Those are
those,
that is
but
cool.
I'm dissecting his album with him, so or her.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
those are
that's
fun.
cool.
But yeah, this is the THHC podcast, episode 252, with Obie Trice, man. Again, thank you, man. I want to thank everybody in advance for purchasing one of my books. I got 9 books out, 2 on audio, 9 books, 7 ebooks, 2 are actual books. They're behind me. These 2 here, the Severe's Chronicles. And then thanks everybody for purchasing merch. This is one of the shirts. I love my cities in black, all types of
That's
hoodies,
cool.
t-shirts. Everybody can get the merch. It's a lot of merch I make. For me and my daughter make merch. It's in the description. Y'all can check that out. And then listen to the music. We just talked about the music. You mentioned the music. I'm an executive producer, so I try to link with these producers and these rappers and make quality music. Once in a while, I talk trash on a record here and there, but I got that from other artists asking me for my voice or stealing my
Yeah.
voice. And then I said, damn, my voice must be something. So I started utilizing it and telling my
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
stories. I started telling funny stories through music, and I lived a crazy life. So you'll hear some of these stories and you'll be like, I got a lot of stories out. You can go listen to them now and you'll be like, this dude went through some crazy stuff. So go listen to them. Great producers behind the stories. They gave me some quality beats. They didn't give me trash beats. And I put my stories behind it, and they're there to entertain you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't leave I didn't use no names because I don't want no women coming at me, no dudes coming at me, no beef.
That's right.
So, but yeah, man, thanks for buying the merch. Thanks for listening to the music. Thanks for listening to the podcast. How many podcasts must get dissed is the actual audio version of me doing a lot of breakdowns and doing them in different manners. I want to thank all the fact checkers, the people that be in the comments. Hey, I want to fact check you. Show some positive energy, man. Ask some questions to me, to Obie Trice. We can come back and always answer them. Promote. If you got anything to promote, artists, producers, whoever's watching this. And then next week I have another guest or I'll talk about another great album. Obie Trice, again, thank you for coming on. Give me some. Only thing I ask for my guests is to say some kind words or something, and then you could promote, and do whatever you like.
Of course. It's just as you know, it's a crazy time, crazy like last week or two,
Yeah.
probably. Whatever it's been, as time flies by for me. I can't always keep track of it, but so everybody just gotta, stay positive, keep your heads up, keep listening to good music. That's why when an artist says thank you to me for a review, I say no, thank you. I need the
Exactly.
music. The world is tough. That life is tough enough. Like so, listen to some
Yeah.
good music, chill with your loved ones, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just try to stay positive. Stay out there. Keep grinding. Don't give up. Mental Health Month is this month, right? June.
Yeah.
So talk to somebody. But what I don't want to say blah blah blah, but all the stuff that you know.
No, great words, great words of wisdom. Yeah, talk to somebody you said it's mental health month.
I think so, right? Isn't June like men's
It could
mental
be,
health month?
I forget all the months,
I might be
so many
wrong.
things going on. But I had a friend, commit suicide this month.
Oh wow, I'm sorry, man.
And
Sorry to
yeah,
hear that.
thanks. And people need to go call that suicide hotline, get a friend and
Hmm.
family, talk to somebody. And people need to check on the strong family members,
Yeah.
friends, or people they know, because they always check on the weak. Or hopefully they check on the weak.
Right.
But you know, they always think, oh, that guy's over there, he's strong, or she's mentally strong, or whatever's going on. They don't need me to check on them. You
Right.
do. You do.
Yeah.
You gotta check.
Check on
You're human.
everybody.
Everybody's
Just
human.
don't be too prideful. Send a
Yeah.
text. Say, hey man, what's going on? I'm just
Yeah.
saying what's up
Even if it's
or
a text.
whatever. You know,
Even if
you don't
it's
have
text.
it doesn't have to be crazy,
Yeah.
but don't be too cool to check in. That's all I'm saying. You
Exactly.
know.
Be too cool for school, they say, right? Too cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The older I get, the more I'm like being too cool for stuff. Just all
Yeah.
that does is hold you back in life. So
It does.
don't
100%.
don't be like that.
100%. Again,
Uh,
man, thanks for coming on. This is the THHC Podcast, episode 252, ScarLip. ScarLip, we appreciate it. Everybody that's behind this project. Scared Before Fame review with Obie Trice Kenobi, man. Salute, man. Again, man.
salute.
Thanks a lot, man. We out of here, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Peace out, y'all.